Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to Black Eye Coalition, where any injustice is a black eye. Hey, look, I want to thank everyone for viewing my channel. Like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to know anything, any information, give a contribution, donation, the link is in the bio. So, all my life, because of extenuating factors, growing up in a single family home, not having the right guidance. I've been subjected to making my own decision, making the wrong decisions in life, you know what I mean? But I'm so thankful because, through life, I learned from my errors. You see what I'm saying? Because, life is trial and error, especially when, you don't have both parents there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, yeah, your parents might whoop you. You see what I'm saying? But that's not enough. You see what I'm saying? Because whooping you, even though, you shouldn't spread a rod, whooping you ain't enough. Sometimes you need an example. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you need an example to follow. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when we grow up in single family homes, especially as men, we tend to not make the right decision because, we don't grew up watching a woman. You see what I'm saying? In the house. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, when we 16, 17, 18, we get out here on our own. We have to learn how to be men on our own. And so that's why you see the repetitive cycle that's taking place of these young men who don't really reach maturity into the age of, in their 30s. Some of us in our late 40s, some of us in our 40s, some of us in our 20s. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to understand this is that is the consequence of not having balance, a mother and a father, to give you balance. Because see, a lot of us as men, we act out on impulse. Impulse is what's destroying you because you're not making a conscious a decision. You're just doing it right there. You see what I'm saying? Instead of, sometimes, when confrontations come your way, it's okay to walk away. It's okay for you not to, have to win the battle. You see what I'm saying? It takes a real man to walk away from a fight. You see what I'm saying? Because, and I'm just using this as an example, because a lot of times what tends to happen is like, one of y'all gonna win. And then, especially if it's in front of females, somebody's pride is going to be bruised. You see what I'm saying? Or somebody's ego is going to be bruised, and then somebody is going to want to, take it to the extreme. So, and that come from, being raised in a single parent home and not having the proper structure and foundation. You see what I'm saying? And so the reason why I'm saying this is because I too grew up in that situation. You know what I mean? And I really didn't learn how to be a man until, I got into my late 30s. I was working towards it, learning how to be a man. You see what I'm saying? But I really didn't understand how to be a man until I got into my 40s. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I'm still learning how to be a man. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, the reason why I'm saying this is because, that is the reason why we have made a lot of time the decisions that we have made in life that has caused us to become felons. You see what I'm saying? And so, a lot of this too, why I'm saying is for the youth. It's for a lot of our young heads, these little young bulls out here, you know what I mean? So you don't have to go through the hardships, that myself and others had to go through because we grew up in the 80s and in the 90s. We grew up in the crack era, you know what I'm saying, where it was cracking. Like, in this era, you young heads, y'all got a lot more opportunities to make something out of yourself. You see what I'm saying? Coming out of the 60s, the 70s, and the 90s. 70s and the 80s, because, it was still a lot of discrimination and things of that nature, even up into the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And, I could speak on it, but I'm not. But I'm just saying that before you get yourself in trouble, think about what you're doing. Think about the choices that you're making before you do it. That involves you thinking about people, places, and things. Some places it ain't meant for you to go. Some people it's not meant for you to hang around. Look at people's characters. You know what I'm saying? Watch their actions. You know what I'm saying? Because time will tell. You know what I'm saying? They can only hide who they is for a while. You know what I'm saying? Action speaks louder than words. But the reason for this whole conversation is what I want you to understand. If you are a young man who has been in trouble, who has been, incarcerated before, you have the opportunity to change that if you just keep your nose clean. You know what I'm saying? If you stay out of trouble, you see what I'm saying? And so we peer pressure can get you in trouble, wanting to be around the people, and be out in the streets and, be in the clubs. Peer pressure. It's okay to be alone. It's okay, to be by yourself if you can't find people who are on like-minded, who are trying to go in the direction that you're going and want the things that you want out of life. And so I'm saying that because, if you've acquired a felony or anything like that, depending on your state laws, you see what I'm saying, you have the opportunity to get your record expunged. I don't know if anybody ever told you guys that depending on your state laws, you have the opportunity to get your record expunged. So like where I'm at, it's 5 years. You see what I'm saying? So thank God that, I've been out of trouble for 5 years. This is my 5th year in August. I'll be out of trouble for 5 years. So what that means for me is that I can go petition the court, to get my case expunged. And then I can get a lot of my rights back, including my gun rights. You see what I'm saying? Better job opportunities open up for you. But see, if somebody is not explaining this to you and, you're just continuing the cycle and continue to go in the way and thinking like, bam, once I get out the penitentiary and I touch down, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get right back on the grind. I'm going to do this. I got to get my money up. You know what I'm saying? But sooner or later, you know what I'm saying, that all catches up to you. So the best thing for you to do is when you get out, before you get out, is to have a plan. See, like when I went in 2002, they had a career tech where I'm at, you know what I mean? And so I took career tech because it was like, I think like a year before your release, you could get into one of the schooling programs. And so I took up welding, you know what I mean? And it helped me a lot, you know what I mean? To where I stayed out the penitentiary for 7 years, you know what I'm saying? More than 7 years, from 2004. I didn't go back to 2011. You see what I'm saying? So I was out the penitentiary, no, I got out in 2004 and I didn't go back to that. I was out 7 years. So if I would have knew then what I knew now, and I would have understood that if, I just stayed diligent and stayed on the right track, I could have been had all my rights back then. I could have been, got my case expunged and, everything could have been, closed. So I want to tell you this so you can have the opportunity, and this just ain't for the young heads, this for old heads. You need to check out your state laws on expungement. That way you can get your case expunged, and typically they have lawyers that'll handle that for you, legal aid or something like that'll handle that for you. So, and you just have to go check, Google your state laws, Google legal aid in your state, and they'll help you. Typically they'll help you. So, the objective is to get back to a clean slate, because you're going to need those gun rights back. You know what I mean? And you have to do everything decently in order. So you have to follow protocol. You see what I'm saying? That's very due process is what they call it. You have to follow due process. You see what I'm saying? But so go and check your state laws and make sure that, what's the time frame of you being able to petition the courts for an expungement. You know what I mean? Thank you for coming to my channel. Peace and blessings. Like, share, and subscribe if you would like to donate or give a contribution. Link is in the bio. Have a good day.